hopefully we don't run into any problems because I'm building Ladybird as I'm recording this because I want to try it out. But despite that, I feel like I've just been generally negative towards Linux for these past couple videos that I made. And I feel like it's unfair considering that I absolutely love Linux and I genuinely feel like it's probably one of the best operating systems you can use. Well, at least a Unix kernel. I don't really use macOS that much, and especially considering that for work I use a Windows laptop, and I do appreciate Unix systems more than I do Windows, especially after working on a Windows 11 laptop. Yeah, it's not fun. But beyond that, I was not joking. I'm literally installing it right now. Just want to make sure everything's good. Yeah, it's installing. Perfect. But besides that, Linux, in my opinion, I'm using CatchOS, Arch for me specifically. I genuinely feel like is the best operating system out there, and there's no other one that will ever like compete with it. Obviously, I'm not saying Arch itself is the best. What I'm saying is that it's just good. Like, besides my experience with Linux Mint, I'm really not sure what the problem was, but I ran into so many issues with Mint, and I was like, it just wasn't fun. Like, Debian-based distributions are just not for me, and I just want something that, is just good and a lot of do-it-yourself, because that's what I am. I love putting things together. My computer's custom built. Well, this one's actually pre-built. I usually custom build my computers, but I had a really, really good price, and I wasn't just gonna fucking fumble a 4080 Super. But beyond that, I just love building everything myself. And while I don't really care about style that much, I do want to try and make the best possible developer environment for me. Well, I did make a custom configuration for my NeoVim configuration, and now it's gonna be the custom configuration for work. Somehow I managed to convince my manager to allow that. I also made my own custom configuration for Tmux because I feel like the default stuff is just very nice, and I love the fact that I'm just able to build everything myself. And I know you can do a lot of this on Windows, like for instance, you can run NeoVim on Windows, just as an example. But I'm talking specifically about how every little thing about Linux I could either change or just modify to make it what I want, and that's what I fucking love. I love the fact that I'm not limited by anything, and that's where the complexity comes in, because you have free reign to do whatever you want. And as much as complex as that is, I absolutely love. I love the choices. I love trying to figure out what works best for me, because this is what I love doing. I've used Emacs, wasn't for me. Entirely fair, because listen, in the end, it's a text editor. Well, no, it's more than a text editor to Emacs, but still, all I wanted to do was just write code, and Vim and NeoVim specifically works for me, and I love the fact that I'm able to just essentially just pick and choose everything that I want, see what works, in if it doesn't work, install it. And by the way, the package manager, and I can even give Microsoft some kudos because Winget is actually amazing, even though they straight up did just steal that from someone else. And I think Choco, whatever the fuck it's pronounced, is also really good in my opinion. But we're not talking about Windows because Windows is ass. Every package manager I use, from apps, even though I know it's kind of shit, to Pac-Man or Yay if you're into that, is fucking amazing. Like, genuinely speaking, it's like I've never had a problem with it. The only issue sometimes is I just have a problem with the packages themselves, which is annoying depending on, how old the package is and if they're being updated or not. And again, I'm not blaming anyone. It's essentially speaking community driven, depending on the package you're going for. But regardless of that, I love Linux. I love the fact that I'm able to just do whatever I want. I love the freedom. If I want a window manager, I'm on i3 right now. Because fuck it, like in my opinion, this is the best one for me. I could switch to Hyperland, but that means I can't record or stream. I mean, I could, but for whatever reason, my video output always just goes to like immediately like six frames a second. I really don't know why. I usually would blame my NVIDIA graphics card, but I really don't know why it's just not working. I love that I'm able to just do whatever I want with it. Like I love the freedom, the choice, and everything that's there just for me to do. Some people don't like it. That's fine. Because having more options inherently just makes things way more complicated. But that's the beauty of it. And I feel like people will never really like grasp this idea that like if and someone actually left a comment about this, and they made a good point. If you really want to remove all complexity of Linux, just limit yourself. But the issue with that is, dude, Linux is so broad that it's impossible to just kind of figure out what the hell you're doing. But that's okay. I'm not here to complain. I'm not here to get mad. I'm telling you, once you get over that fucking hurdle, it's amazing. My computer runs so much better. Literally every time I boot up Windows, because I am dual booting right now for my other alter ego, for Windows at least, because I stream video games on Windows because I mentioned in my last video the ninth circle of hell. That's what it is on Linux. But every time I boot up Windows, my fucking GPU and CPU, my fans just start ramping up for no reason. Now I'm using I'm using I'm using a decent amount of fucking CPU power, and my fans aren't even what? My fans aren't even going crazy right now. Literally, how the fuck does Windows get so fucking bad all the time? They never do anything right with Microsoft. It's just fumble after fumble. I don't get it. It's insulting, and I've never felt, and I feel like I'm more like productive. Like I don't like I'm not shooting myself in the foot every time I boot up Linux. Obviously, there's some caveats. I'm not going to pretend that Linux is the perfect operating system. I've literally made 3 videos talking about how not really, but that's okay. There's always a workaround, and once you finally figure it out, everything just seems to work, and I love it. And I absolutely love Linux. It is fantastic. I've never, every time I run into a problem, you have to figure out yourself. That's the biggest issue. I'm gonna put that in quotations because if you ever run into an issue with your computer, just Google it. It's right there for you. But overall, I'm happy with what I'm using. I think Linux deserves more support. I know some people don't like the idea that Linux would be like more widespread, and truth be told, yeah, no, it could introduce more problems with it. Like for instance, I know malware has become not malware specifically, but viruses are like now being introduced to like Linux operating systems due to its again like its popularity, and it sucks. It kind of sucks, but that's okay. Because in the end, the best way to avoid, viruses, malware, or any of that is just common sense. And obviously, I'm not calling anyone stupid. I feel like I should make that very clear right now. And I think it'd be better if more people were able to use Linux. And obviously speaking, there is going to be, I know for a fact, the moment like someone figures out that, oh, Linux is actually viable. They're gonna, Adobe, for instance, I already know for a fact is going to start supporting only a limited amount of distros before they can, actually release a package, because they, for love of God, do not want you to reverse engineer anything, which is stupid because Adobe Photoshop is the most pirated thing on this planet. This isn't even a joke. I haven't looked at the statistics, but I'm 90% sure Adobe Photoshop is the #1 most pirated app in the world. For good reason. I will say this much. Adobe Photoshop is great despite the AI slop they're introducing. I believe Linux is the future, and it will be the year of the Linux next year, guys. I promise. I promise you. Just keep hoping. Just keep coping, guys. For my name isn't Popeye the Sailor Man. This is a heavy cast iron statue of Popeye the Sailor Man. There is no reason to even be on screen. I just want to show you guys because I think it's really, really cool. And you guys are cool. I'm not lying. You guys are not schizophrenic. But I really do appreciate all of you. It's kind of weird having one of my videos reach 4,000 views. Even my original channel, I've never even reached that sort of like viewership, except for like one video, but that was a bullshit video. And so I really do appreciate it. And maybe in the near future, once I get more comfortable in my in this alter ego of mine, I'll be doing more like more coding streams, more Linux streams, just checking out new software or even new distros, because I feel like it'll be fun, and I actually want to get like input from other people. I want like some criticism, because obviously I can do many things better, but again, I just need that little extra time while things are happening. Anyway, guys, I'm not sure how many more videos I got left in me to make daily, but in case I don't see you, and a happy, very new year. Ciao, gang. Gang? Linux users? Nerds? Schizos? I don't know, somewhere. Am I allowed to say schizos? I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Um, what's a nice thing to call a Linux user? Um, gang. I thought for a second. I really don't know. I don't. Mm, leave down in the comments what you think I should call Linux users. Please be nice. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.